What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, I made another video today regarding the situation between Devin the Dream Haney and Shakur Stevenson, to which many people hit me up and said, why do I continue to talk about this topic? For one, it's my job, and it's one of the biggest fights possible in the sport of boxing. That's number one. For two, people keep saying, why don't I have any smoke for Devin the Dream Haney, but I continue to have smoke and call out the contradictions of Shakur Stevenson? Well, here's why. Devin Haney proves that he's top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, with not just his talent in the ring, but also with his mindset. Devin Haney is willing to fight the best anywhere, anytime. No stipulations. He has not put any stipulations or demands on any fighter in any fight. Yet, when he fought Ryan Garcia tested positive for a banned substance, got suspended. After the fight, when the fight was initially over, Devin Haney made zero excuses for the outcome of the fight initially. Then we find out that Ryan Garcia tested positive for performance enhancers. When you look at the situation with Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney, Devin Haney is a middleweight. He rehydrates to 165 pounds. When he fought Regis Prograis, that was a problem, right? And now you fast forward to the situation with Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson wants the fight to be at a catch weight of 144 pounds with a rehydration clause. Yet Shakur Stevenson is on record. Devin Haney is not. He's on record saying that he's going to go up to 147 pounds, dominate and collect all the belts. He said Devin Haney wasn't a problem. Now I had somebody come in the inbox and they said, well, Devin Haney ducked Shakur Stevenson at 135. This is very funny, right? Because look at this situation. Devin Haney, after he fought Lomachenko, we know he struggled with the weight. We know Devin Haney struggled to make 135 pounds. Yet, he was still willing to make the sacrifice, as long as Shakur Stevenson made the sacrifice on the finance part, to fight at 135 pounds, where we know he was finished there. He stated he looked like a skeleton on the scale with Lomachenko, and he stated that this was his last fight. But Shakur Stevenson pressed him, and the world said that he was getting ready to duck Shakur Stevenson. So Devin Haney was still willing to stay at 135 and fight Shakur Stevenson, giving Shakur Stevenson the same deal that he took 2 fights ago. Since we talking about fights ago, when Shakur Stevenson says, well, you fought Jose Ramirez at 144 pounds, so you could fight me at 144 pounds, right? Okay, so Devin Haney, he says, no problem. I'll come to 144. He says that was 2 fights ago, right? Just 2 fights ago. Well, just 2 fights before he fought Lomachenko, he had to go to Australia and take 25% to fight for Undisputed. Now he's willing to give you the opportunity to fight for Undisputed at 135 pounds. He had to take a rematch clause to go to Australia not once but twice and take 25%. Now he's willing to give you the same deal that he took, and now that is considered lowballing. But he was willing to stay there, right? But take a look at this. When Devin Haney moves up to 147, his first fight at 147, he's offered a fight with the Phenom, the unified lineal WBA IBF Ring Magazine champion, Jaron Boots Ennis. He accepts it at 147. Everybody says, well, Devin Haney is trying to weight drain Jaron Boots Ennis, knowing Jaron Ennis can't make the weight anymore. That's very funny, right? Because when Devin said that he was ready to move up in weight at 135 after beating Lomachenko, everybody said he was ducking Shakur Stevenson. But we knew he was already struggling with the weight, right? So the same situation. He's willing to fight Jaron Ennis at the weight class, 147 for his belt, and everybody says, well, he's trying to drain Jaron Boots Ennis, and no, Jaron Boots Ennis can't make the weight. What's the difference? Nobody complained that he was going to stay. He was willing to stay one more fight at 135 to fight Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur Stevenson didn't like the offer. Get this, the offer that Devin Haney took just 3 fights ago. The first fight, with George Kambosos and the second fight with George Kambosos in Australia before he fought Lomachenko. So he's giving him the same deal as the undisputed champion to fight for undisputed that he took in Australia, and he don't have to go to Australia. And he was willing to stay at 135 one more time, no catch weight, no rehydration clause for Shakur Stevenson fight. But that gets overlooked. But check this out. When it's Jerron Boots Ennis and Devin Haney is the bad guy. Devin Haney is trying to weight drain Jerron Boots Ennis instead of fighting Jerron Boots Ennis at 152. Now, would the people have applauded if Devin Haney said, okay, I'll stay at 135, but you got to come up 5 pounds. You got to fight me at 140. People would have said Devin Haney is ducking, and why would Shakur fight Devin Haney at 140 when the belts is not on the line? Well, why would Devin Haney fight Jerron Boots Ennis at 152 when the belts is not on the line and he never fought at that weight class? You see how that works? Now, considering the weight, right? Everybody's saying, well, Shakur said it's a significant jump from 140 to 147 because Devin Haney said it's a significant jump. Okay, well, if that's the case, and Devin Haney significantly jumped from 135 to 140 fight the second best fighter in the division in Regis Prograis, not Josh Taylor, then he jumped to the 147 and fought the best fighter in the division in Brian Norman Jr. after Jerron. He agreed to fight Jerron Ennis, who was the best fighter in the division, but he left. We just explained that situation. Now he's willing to fight Brian Norman. Beats Brian Norman, but y'all said that he was forced to fight Brian Norman. He didn't want to fight with Brian Norman coming off the Jose Ramirez performance. Then he drops Brian Norman, dominates Brian Norman, wins the title, and now it's Brian Norman was green and wasn't ready and didn't fight nobody, didn't beat nobody. We can't pick and choose, right? So Devin Haney is willing to fight Keyshawn Davis. He's willing to fight Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. He said, I'll fight both of them. Why do people continue to say? Now, people say Shakur Stevenson is arguably pound for pound the best fighter in the world. He's only one division below Devin Haney, right? Who only had one fight at 147, but Devin is willing to fight him at a catchweight. Now, take this into consideration. He's the best fighter in the world in Shakur Stevenson, right? So, Devin Haney is willing to fight, sign to fight Shakur Stevenson and to fight Keyshawn Davis. But people keep saying he's ducking Keyshawn Davis. Make this make sense. He said put both of them on the contract. He's willing to do away with both of them, fight both of them, and get both of them out the way. So how's he ducking Keyshawn Davis when he's saying add Shakur Stevenson to the contract? I'll fight you first if I have to, as long as he's on the contract to fight him second. And if not, I'll fight him first and then fight you second. So he's calling everybody's bluff. Nobody's calling his bluff. But he's in the wrong. Y'all want me to have smoke for him? For what? He's doing what a fighter I praise does. He's looking to fight the best fighters there is with no stipulations. Isn't that what you want from your favorite fighters? You should want your favorite fighters to fight the best fighters without any stipulations. That's what he's attempting to do. He said that after this, he'll fight Xander Zayas, Jerron Boots Ennis at 154. He wants to get the Shakur Stevenson fight out the way, right? Y'all saying, well, he need to keep the same energy and fight Jerron Ennis and Xander Zayas because he's picking on a little guy in Shakur Stevenson, who Shakur Stevenson stated that he was willing to fight Conor Benn at 164. At 154 with a 10-pound rehydration clause. And then my brother Claymore Rain said, well, no, he corrected himself. And he said, no, I'll do it at 147. Well, if you do it at 147 with a rehydration clause, then why don't you fight Devin Haney at 147 with a rehydration clause? But Devin Haney is not the same caliber of fighter. But y'all would push the narrative that Devin Haney doesn't have a chin, can't punch, is afraid, is a grappler. All he does is hold and run. This is what you would push. But he can't be that. Right? Because everybody wants stipulations to fight Devin Haney. Make it make sense. So what smoke exactly am I supposed to have for Devin Haney? You tell me. He is trying to fight Shakur Stevenson right now. Shakur said, yeah, I'll fight you at 144. Devin says, okay, 144 good. He says, yes. Devin agrees. Now he wants a rehydration clause. And then y'all say, well, he's picking on a smaller guy? Well, newsflash. Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson is the same size. How much bigger is Keyshawn than Shakur Stevenson? Y'all got to start making this make sense, man. Y'all saying Keyshawn missed weight at 135. Shakur missed weight at 130. And Shakur is saying this is 144 is fair for two champions in two different divisions. I'm a champion at 140 and you're a champion at 147. He's not saying I'm a champion at 135. We got to start making this make sense, man. So what am I supposed to have smoke for Devin Haney for? Keyshawn and Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson are not far apart in weight, period. Y'all see a drastic difference in size between Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson? If y'all say that, like Floyd Mayweather said, right? When y'all was saying that Floyd Mayweather was ducking Manny Pacquiao, but fighting a small guy in Manuel Marquez who's actually bigger than Manny Pacquiao. Make this make sense. So Shakur Stevenson is not much bigger than Keyshawn. Y'all say Devin is ducking Keyshawn because Keyshawn's aggressively pursuing the fight. But they around the same size. So isn't Devin picking on a small guy and Keyshawn Davis too? He ain't never fought at 147 and only had 2 fights at 140. Make this make sense, man. And that's all I got for y'all, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word, it's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.